Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and in this video we'll be comparing make.com as well as N8N. Now let me just tell you, both of these tools are used to make AI automations, and now both of these tools have some pros, some cons, which we'll be discussing in this video. Now before we begin, let me just tell you that we have started a free consultation service for your own business. Now you can book a call with us using the link in the description, and our team can help you in figuring out what all automations can you use to ease your business. Now, since you've done that, let's move forward with this video. So this is a simple make.com workflow which I made. It's a single line workflow. It says I'm getting the data from Google Sheets. Then I'm generating this email, I'm generating a subject, and these are some Gemini modules. And here is a Gmail module to send out an email. Now, when I head over to N8N, this is what my N8N workflow looks like. It looks a bit more complex, and it actually is, but it has multiple dimensions. I'm able to use loops here. I'm actually able to add code over here. I'm calling these HTTP requests. I'm using these agentic modules. Now, all this make this workflow a bit more complex, but a bit more smart. So it's very easy to understand that N8N is a bit more complex, but it's a much better tool than make.com. However, there are multiple pros and cons, so you may prefer make.com, and we'll be discussing this over the whiteboard. Alright, so let's start with the first topic, Agentic system. As I said, that make.com offers mostly linear workflow. You can have multiple branches over here. It's gonna look something like this. So a make workflow can look, let's start with a circle. So it may look like this. You can have branches, but mostly it does only this. Whereas when we go over to N8N, it offers a more complex workflows. The workflow may look like, start over here, you divide over branches, you merge it, and you can merge the final result with the initial node. Apart from this, you can also add loops into this, which is, I think, a very useful feature, which is not in make.com yet. Alright, so this is one level of comparison between make.com and N8N, that make.com has a linear workflow system, whereas N8N has a complex workflow. Now this is something like agentic system, which is only there in N8N. Make.com has AI modules, but it is usually unidirectional. It only gives a single text result. Whereas this agentic workflow, it can use tools like this as well as LLM models. So this is the input, this is the output, right? So agent can use this LLM model and decide on basis of this to use a particular tool. For example, it can use Google Calendars, or it can use Telegram to send out results, or to book meetings. So using this agentic module, it can make more complex decisions, which is much more useful when you're working with AI agents. Whereas make.com is more of a workflow tool. It's not an AI agent tool yet. Alright, so this is one level of comparison between these two. So the next level of comparison between make.com and N8N is hosting. Make.com only offers cloud hosting. It does not offer any local hosting, whereas N8N offers cloud as well as local hosting. So how local hosting works is, you can go over to N8N documentation, and you can download their library, and you can run N8N locally in your machine. You can also use Docker to host it on a private network. Since it's locally hosted, it's much more secure compared to make.com. Now the next level of comparison here is how you are charged. So make.com is charged on operations, whereas N8N is charged, if you're using the cloud version, you charge on executions, but if you're running the local version, the charges are free. Now, one thing I want you to note is the difference between operations and executions. So this is a simple workflow. It's an example of simple workflow. For example, you can have a Google form, and you can have a ChatGPT module here, and this is feeding out into a Telegram message. So this entire thing when the entire workflow runs, this is called an execution. Whereas when we are only running a single module, this is called operation. So the main difference you can see between execution and operation is when an entire workflow runs, only one execution is done, whereas one execution can have multiple operations. So what make.com do is it charges you on the basis of number of operations it has done, whereas cloud and N8N, what it does is it charges you on the basis of number of executions the workflow has done. So when you're running a very complex workflow, or you're having multiple scenarios, multiple workflows, then N8N is proven to be more cost effective, whereas make.com can be a bit more expensive. Now talking about costing, well, N8N does not have any free plan. You can have the local host version, but it does not offer any free cloud plan, whereas Make does have a free plan. So we'll just head over to the make.com pricing site. It says that for the free site, the free version offers 1,000 operations per month, and you can go over to different costing as well. Whereas if you go to N8N pricing, there is no free plan. There's a starter plan of 20 euros and there's a pro plan of 50 euros. Although N8N is not free, but you can run it locally to save any cost. Whereas for make.com, you don't have that option. So you'll have to run it on the cloud, and the pricing varies from this model. Now let's also see what are the different pros and cons of make.com and as well as N8N. So make.com, it is beginner friendly. The UI is pretty good. There are a lot of integrating apps. There are unlimited active workflows, and it's good for workflows as well. It's a very simple tool. You can make easy workflows using make.com. It is expensive since you are being charged on operations, and you cannot use it to build agents yet. Now let's head over to N8N and let's see what are the pros and cons of N8N. Well, you can do local hosting. It's good for complex workflows. You can build AI agents using this, and you can also add code. So if I show you my workflow, you see I've added these code modules to manipulate data even further. The con of N8N is it is a bit more complex to use, and there are only fewer pre-built modules. You'll have to make your own modules in order to make very customized workflows. So I think that is it for this comparison video. We've been through all these pointers, starting with agentic system, hosting, how you are charged, costing, as well as pros and cons. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you were able to make your decision which tool to use, make.com or N8N. If you face any issue while making any automation, you can ping me up. You can also book a free consultation with me if you have any issues, if you want to understand how you can use these AI automations in your business. Just head over to the description of this video and book a 30-minute call with me using the link. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.